Hello everyone, this is Disha and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to share a few important formulas of kinematics. First is distance covered. Distance covered is the actual path covered by the body. It is a scalar quantity. Displacement is the vector drawn from initial position to final position. So it is the shortest path between 2 points. It is a vector quantity. Velocity is rate of change of displacement. Instantaneous velocity is ds by dt. Average velocity is delta s by delta t. Acceleration is rate of change of velocity. So a is equal to dv by dt equal d square s upon dt square. And average acceleration is delta v upon delta t. Delta stands for a large change and d means small change. If a body covers S1, S2, S3, three distances with different speeds, then what will be the average speed? Average speed is total distance upon total time is equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3 upon T1 plus T2 plus T3. Average velocity will be total distance upon total time, but we can write time as S upon V. So we can write it S1 plus S2 plus S3 upon S1 by V1 plus S2 by V2 plus S3 by V3. If a body covers equal distances with different speeds, then S1 equals S2 is equal to S. Then the formula of average velocity will be V average equals 2v1 v2 upon v1 plus v2. It means average velocity will be the harmonic mean of two velocities. A body moving with different speeds in different time intervals v1, v2, v3 in time t1, t2 and t3. Then distance covered in first time interval S1 equals V1 T1, S2 equals V2 T2, S3 equals V3 T3. V average will be total distance upon total time. So we can put the formulas of S1, S2 and S3. We put the values and this formula will come up. If the time intervals are equal, then T1 is equal to T2 is equal to T3 equals T. So we will get this formula of average velocity, which means that average velocity is now a arithmetic mean of different velocities. So if the time intervals are equal, then average velocity is arithmetic mean. But if distances covered are equal, then average velocity will be harmonic mean. Next is uniform motion. Uniform motion means that a body is covering equal distances in equal intervals of time. Here acceleration is 0 and only one formula is applicable, that is V is equal to S upon T. When it comes to non-uniform motion, then the body is not covering equal distances in equal intervals of time. Here there is some value of acceleration. Acceleration is not 0. It can be of two types. First, when the acceleration is constant, then it will be uniformly accelerated motion. Second is, if acceleration is not constant, then it will be non-uniformly accelerated motion. For uniformly accelerated motion, there are four formulas. V is equal to U plus AT, S equals UT plus half AT square, V square minus U square equals 2AS, and S nth equals U plus A by 2 into 2n minus 1. For non-uniformly accelerated motion, only the differential equations are valid. Like V is equal to ds by dt, acceleration equals dv by dt. Motion under gravity. If a body is falling freely, then it is falling under the acceleration due to gravity. So here we have to replace A by G. value of g is 9.8 meter per second square. So equations will become v is equal to u plus gt, s equals ut plus half gt square, v square minus u square equals 2gs. For a body falling freely under the action of gravity, g is taken to be positive, and when a body is thrown vertically upward, g is negative. When a body is just dropped from some height, then u is 0. Initial velocity will be 0 when a body is dropped from some height. For a body thrown vertically up with initial velocity u, मतलब हमने किसी बॉडी को u इनिशियल वेलोसिटी से ऊपर की तरफ फेंका है, देन मैक्सिमम हाइट रीच्ड बाय दैट बॉडी विल बी u स्क्वायर अपॉन 2g. टाइम ऑफ एसेंट यानी ऊपर जाने का टाइम इज इक्वल टू टाइम ऑफ डिसेंट यानी नीचे आने का टाइम. तो ऊपर जाने का टाइम, नीचे आने का टाइम दोनों इक्वल है एंड दे आर इक्वल टू u बाई g, एंड टोटल टाइम ऑफ फ्लाइट विल बी 2u बाई g. When body is dropped from height h, then velocity attained v equals under root 2gh. In this case, u is 0 because body is dropped from a particular height, and when it comes down, its velocity will be under root 2gh. Next is position time graph. It is the xt graph. For a body at rest, if a body is at rest, then it means that velocity is 0, and at every point of time its position will be same. So the xt graph will be a straight line parallel to the time axis. Slope of xt graph, that is tan theta, it gives velocity. Velocity is dx by dt. So dx by dt is the slope of xt graph. Slope of xt graph gives us velocity. For uniform motion, velocity is constant. That's why the slope of xt graph will be constant. So it will be a straight line which is inclined to the time axis at some angle theta. Tan theta gives the slope, that is velocity. Velocity time graph for a body moving with constant velocity or uniform motion. At every point of time, velocity is same, so the graph will be a straight line parallel to time axis. Acceleration is 0 in this case. Slope of vt graph की slope यानी tan theta will be dv by dt, which is acceleration. So slope of vt graph gives acceleration. Area under vt graph and time axis gives distance traveled, and area under acceleration time graph and time axis gives change in velocity. Next is relative velocity. So relative velocity of object A with respect to object B. VAB will be VA vector minus VB vector. That is difference of the velocity vectors of A and B. Relative velocity of object B with respect to object A, VBA, is equal to velocity vector of B minus velocity vector of A. When objects A and B move in the same direction, when two objects A and B are moving in the same direction, then for finding their relative velocity, we have to subtract. And when object B moves in opposite direction, means when two objects are moving in opposite directions, then their relative velocity will be the sum of their individual velocities. Next topic is vectors. There are two important laws of vectors, triangle law of vector addition and parallelogram law of vector addition, and both of them give the same resultant. Two vectors P and Q inclined to each other at an angle theta, then the resultant vector, the magnitude of resultant vector will be under root p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. If the resultant r makes angle beta with p, then value of tan beta will be q sin theta upon p plus q cos theta. This was the law of vector addition. If two vectors A and B are in the same direction, then resultant will be A plus B. Because value of theta has to be 0, cos theta is 1. Two vectors A and B, if they are in the opposite direction, theta is 180 degree, cos 180 degree is minus 1. R is equal to A minus B. Two vectors A and B, if they are at right angle, theta 90, cos theta means cos 90 will be 0. R becomes under root A square plus B square. Mod of vector और magnitude of vector, वेक्टर के दो पार्ट्स होते हैं, मैग्नीट्यूड और डायरेक्शन. व्हेन वी कंसीडर ओनली द मैग्नीट्यूड, इट मींस वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट मॉड ऑफ द वेक्टर एंड इट्स सिंबल इज लाइक दिस. नेक्स्ट इज यूनिट वेक्टर. सो यूनिट वेक्टर ऑफ अ वेक्टर is a vector whose magnitude is unity and direction is same as that of the given vector. मतलब वेक्टर, यूनिट वेक्टर का मैग्नीट्यूड 1 है पर उसका कोई डायरेक्शन है विच इज सेम एज दैट ऑफ द गिवन वेक्टर. तो अगर आपको ए वेक्टर का यूनिट वेक्टर लेना है, इट विल बी ए कैप. इट इज वेक्टर डिवाइडेड बाय इट्स मॉड. वेक्टर डिवाइडेड बाय इट्स मॉड गिव्स यूनिट वेक्टर. I cap, j cap and k cap are unit vectors along x, y and z axis respectively. x, y और z axis की तरफ जो यूनिट वेक्टर्स हैं उन्हें I cap, j cap और k cap बोलते हैं. There can be infinite components for a vector. A vector can be resolved into infinite components, but 3 rectangular components are possible in 3 dimensions. If we have a vector like this, then it can have infinite components in infinite directions. But if we consider 3D, then there are 3 rectangular components along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. A position vector R in 3 dimensions can be expressed as R vector equals x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. If a vector A, ax, ay, az are rectangular components of A vector and I cap, j cap, k cap are unit vectors along x, y and z axis, तो हम A vector को ax I cap plus ay j cap प्लस ए जेड के कैप ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. इट मीन्स हमने ए वेक्टर को उसके 3 रेक्टेंगुलर कंपोनेंट्स में रिजॉल्व कर दिया है. एंड टू फाइंड द मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ ए वेक्टर विल बी अंडर रूट ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस ए वाई स्क्वायर प्लस ए जेड स्क्वायर. इफ देयर इज अ वेक्टर ए एंड इट मेक्स एंगल थीटा विद एक्स एक्सिस, देन द component along x-axis ax will be a cos theta and component along y-axis will be ay, that is a sin theta, and magnitude or mod of a will be under root ax square plus ay square. A vector has 2 rectangular components in 2D. अगर 2D में काम करें तो ax और ay 2 rectangular components possible हैं. Scalar product or dot product. Here A vector dot B vector will be AB cos theta and the quantity which we get after scalar product will be a scalar quantity. If A is perpendicular to B vector, theta 90 है, it means that dot product will be 0. And cos theta की value आ सकती है by A vector dot B vector upon mod of A into mod of B. Vector product or cross product. A vector cross B vector means AB sin theta n cap. Here n cap because here the quantity which we get will be a vector quantity, so it has a direction also. Sin theta will be A vector cross B vector upon mod of A into mod of B. Unit vector n cap. It will be perpendicular to the both vectors A and B and it is given by A cross B upon mod of A cross B.